Hi everyone, and welcome to our TNT for Thursday. Really appreciate you dropping in as we whip around Thailand, some of the main news stories. Now, a little bit later on, we're going to be taking you on a culinary surprise of some of the meals that Thai school children are given. Can't wait for that one. But in the meantime, we'll start with a few other stories, including this one from Thai PBS World. Pressure mounts on the Election Commission to announce the May 14 election results. Members of civic groups monitoring the May 14 general election gathered at the office of the Election Commission yesterday to demand a speedy announcement. A letter addressed to the Election Commission chairman demands that they announce the poll results as quickly as possible and explain the delay. One of the demonstrators said that it's been a month since the election and recounting of votes at over 40 polling stations was completed on June the 11th. Therefore, he says, there's no justification for the Election Commission's continued procrastination. Of course, the underlying sort of theme here is that there's some tinkering going on and that the public want the results out so the tinkering can stop. Although the Election Commission has officially got 60 days after the election to announce the results, they say it's unnecessary for them to take so long. And they say that in 2005 it took 16 days to announce the results, 29 days in 2007, 24 days in 2011, and 45 days in the last election in 2019. So, is there a conspiracy, or are they just taking a long time to count and finalise the results? Anyway, that's from Thai PBS World, as we make our way to Walking Street in Pattaya, and the PattayaNews.com reporting that they're considering a proposal for making central Pattaya a walking city. And Pattaya city leaders are considering a recent proposal from the Redemptorist Foundation, which supports people with disabilities, to make Pattaya a so-called walking city. So after reading that first paragraph, I thought, okay, so they're going to make parts of central Pattaya a bit more accessible to people with disabilities. Well, that seemed like a fair idea. But no, in essence, the proposal would begin to move the central parts of Pattaya from a vehicle-centric area to a walking-centric area, which would also have substantial support for people with disabilities. The proposal's in its early stages, but some of the thought processes were that Pattaya City needs to badly repair footpaths across the area. You can say that for literally the whole of Thailand. Footpaths are not a Thai strong point. And create programs to encourage walking over driving private vehicles. This would also create areas which would make it much easier for those in wheelchairs to travel. Traffic in Pattaya has long been a headache, and as more tourists, both domestic and international, visit Pattaya, it seems to get worse daily. This, of course, is compounded by regular events and traffic construction. So the mayor's reportedly reviewing the proposal and agrees that encouraging more walking would alleviate traffic issues and also encourage personal fitness. The proposal is still in its infancy stages, so specifics are not yet available, which is probably code for nothing's going to happen. Now, if you're going to have a central walking area, I suppose that would be a good idea. Keep the traffic out. But you're going to have to completely reroute the current traffic. You're going to have to build more parking spaces. You're going to have to provide access for people to get from those car parking spaces into the walking area. I mean, the whole thing just needs a complete redesign. That's just not going to happen. But we go from Pattaya to Phuket. And the TST forms a panel to push Andaman Special Economic Zone. This reported by the BangkokPost.com. Who is the TST? Well, that's the Thai Sang Party led by Kunying Sudarat. And she was once the leader of the Per-Thai Party, but left to start her own political party. And they've formed a working team to promote tourism in the Andaman provinces as part of a special economic zone with the aim of generating 1 trillion baht in revenue each year. So she took her economic team to Phuket yesterday to a meeting where they heard suggestions from the private sector about driving development in Phuket, Krabi and PhangNga. Well, putting the political grandstanding aside, the three provinces, PhangNga, Phuket, Krabi, have been strong tourist economic drivers for a long, long time. pretty much cash cows for the central government. Now, the situation in Thailand is that all the money from all the provinces all goes into the central government, who then decide what's going to be spent in those provinces. And the suggestion for a long time is that Phuket in particular, but these provinces could do it jointly, should be a special economic zone whereby they can elect their own government and spend the money from those three provinces in those three provinces. Of course, not very popular when it comes to the people up in Bangkok. And Kun Ying said the TST has been planning to promote an Andaman Special Economic Zone. A bill's being reviewed by various sectors and will be put up for public hearings before the proposal is submitted to the new parliament for approval. And she says Phuket, PhangNga and Krabi draw huge numbers of domestic and foreign tourists each year, bolstering their economies. And then, confusingly, the article says certain laws must be issued to regulate tourism in the Andaman Special Economic Zone. Well, the article didn't really discuss what those certain laws are, but the last line I did like. The TST will also encourage state agencies to work together to solve transport problems in the three Andaman provinces. Well, that's code for taxi mafia, which is just one of those almost unsolvable problems. Successive governments, governors, national governments, police inspectors, nobody seems to be able to crack the code on the taxi mafia, and it is still an existential problem for the future of the regional tourism in Phuket, Krabi and PhangNga. You're watching Tim Newton Today on a sunny Thursday, well, at least here in Phuket. We go now to Thai PBS World, and Cabinet extends a state of emergency in most of Yala, Pattaya and Narathiwat. And the Thai Cabinet's agreed to extend the state of emergency in most districts of the three restive southern provinces of Yala, Pattaya and Narathiwat until September the 19th. Never understood this term restive provinces. I mean, they're famous for anything other than being restive. The government spokesperson said the extension, the 72nd, is intended to facilitate security officials in the performance of their duties, dealing effectively with violent incidents and providing public safety. Now, this violence extending over 25 years, some about real estate and borders, some about religion, is not all over those three provinces. In fact, it's still very safe as a tourist if you want to go down there. In fact, there are buses every day taking people who are on visa runs to the border of Malaysia. But there are parts that should be avoided. And then the article goes through places in Narathiwat and Pattaya where the state of emergency is not imposed. And just as a bit of background, just so you can sort of see it on a map, here's a map that shows Malaysia in the green, Thailand in the orange, and those three southern states in yellow, and very broadly just separates it into majority Malay and mixed Malay-Thai areas. But at the end of the day, they are all Thailand, and the government's recently spoken out saying any discussions about secession are illegal, so that sorts out that one. Time to talk school lunches, and this story from ThaiPBSWorld.com. Pictures of school lunches spark social media outrage, and photos of school lunches, which look more like leftovers, have sparked outrage on social media in Thailand, once again raising questions over the quality of lunch menus in Thai schools. A Facebook page called Will It Translates as Thailand's Most Wanted reposted the photos from one of the parents showing what Year 5 students at a private school in Bangkok's Don Muang district had to eat for lunch each day. The post explains that one of the students took the photos, sent them to their parents, which shocked them as they were paying almost 30,000 baht per semester for the tuition fees, and that included 3,000 baht for the school lunch. Despite how much money they've spent, their children ended up with minimal portions of rice and chicken nuggets or rice with sausages. The Post also noted the Thai Cabinet increased the budget for school lunches in all primary schools in Thailand last year, while private schools asked parents to pay extra. This has raised further questions over the quality of the food being served to young students. And the Post also complained that whenever Education Ministry officials visit a school with reporters at the scene, the lunch menu is often presented as delicious, with a variety of options, which contrasts with what they experience on other days. The Post also said the parents have already raised their concerns with the teachers, but nothing has improved. So let's go to this Facebook page and have a look at some of the photos. Thailand's most wanted. And here's our first serving, which we're calling McNugget Surprise. This one we've called Chicken Fried Rice with Mini Banana Accessory. Or this one, Faux Sausage, accompanied by Moist White Goo. Or I love this one, Heinz Surprise Portion with selected pork something granules. And this is delicious, Chicken Supreme, accompanied by a range of selected fresh fruits. My mouth is just watering thinking about it. This story comes up at least once a year, and we get to see some of the rubbish that some Thai schools are dealing out to the kids. And it's a bit of a parade when the Ministry of Education heads down to inspect the schools, and of course they're given glorious portions of fresh food. But the reality is sometimes quite different. We head to our next story now, and The Nation Thailand, nationthailand.com, reporting the government told to stop monkeying around as coconut boycott campaign stings. And the government's being urged to hire lobbyists in the US and the EU to counteract a campaign by PETA, calling on consumers in both markets to boycott Thai-produced coconut milk. And PETA says its campaign, certainly been a relentless campaign, says that monkeys are being used to harvest coconuts on Thai plantations and that they're being severely mistreated. The campaign's continuing to affect exports of coconuts from Thailand, according to private sector sources. They say the PETA campaign is based on false information and are urging the government to hire lobbying firms to counteract the campaign, which shows videos and images of monkeys being chained, mistreated and allegedly trained to harvest coconuts on Thai plantations. Videos like this one, which I found just on YouTube today. It's a video being compiled by PETA showing monkeys obviously in some sort of distress being restrained. Also shows the companies around the world which are now boycotting Thai coconuts, and the videos and the campaign goes on to say that these monkeys are the ones that are being used in the coconut trade, and they're being forced to harvest, run up the trees and grab the coconuts. And PETA's campaign is leading to a decrease in consumer purchases and causing importers and traders in both the US and EU to reduce purchases of Thai products. Thai coconut milk producers and exporters say they do not use monkeys in harvesting or production. Newer coconut plantations use so-called dwarf coconut trees, which are shorter and do not need to be climbed to harvest the coconuts. And Thailand supplies about 80% of the coconut milk in the global market. And the Department of International Trade Promotion has recently produced flyers and other materials with the Thai Food Processors Association to counteract PETA's visceral campaign. In the early days, the Thai farmers were taking representatives from the media out to these plantations and showing the monkeys climbing the trees and showing that they were being well fed, well housed, well looked after, and saying, well, yes, we do use monkeys, but the monkeys actually enjoy the work. But it now seems that that's not enough for PETA, and that they're saying, get rid of the monkeys doing the coconut harvesting, or we'll continue our campaign. Let's move from coconuts now to durian. And from thestart.com.my, Thai durian still king in China as hunger for Thailand's fruits keeps rising. And sales of Thai fruits in the Chinese market continue to thrive, with durian, mangosteen and longan highly sought after. In China's eastern Shandong province alone, wholesale fruit importers have generated 138 million baht in revenue, and supermarkets have announced plans to order fruit worth an additional 190 million baht this year, according to Thailand's Department of International Trade Promotion. Despite also selling durians from other countries, Chinese importers and supermarkets consistently highlight the strong performance and high desirability of Thai durians in the market, according to the DITP. And this year, the article says Thai durians have boasted improved quality on previous years, with an accessible price range ensuring they reach a larger consumer base. That larger consumer base doesn't include me. Not sure what you think about durian, but mostly it seems to be a bit of an Asian thing. Most Westerners somehow not able to cope with the very pungent smell. And finally today, reported by the South China Morning Post, US-China relations, Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit confirmed after phone call with China's Jin Gang, and the US Secretary of State will discuss the importance of keeping open lines of communication and discuss potential areas of cooperation. This from Washington, and in earlier conversations, the Chinese Foreign Minister Jin Gang urged the US to show respect and stop undermining China's interests. The story says the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit Beijing this Sunday and Monday. The two sides have confirmed a move that could put bilateral relations on a better footing after months of acrimony. While in Beijing, Blinken will meet senior officials to discuss the importance of maintaining open lines of communication, bilateral issues of concern, global and regional matters, and potential cooperation on shared transnational challenges. And the rest of that article behind a paywall. I'm sorry the budget of TNT doesn't go that far, but thank you for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. A big thanks to you for your ongoing support. Also, thanks to 5 Star Marine. They've been a sponsor of the program since day one, and there's a special deal in the description below this video for TNT viewers. That's Thursday out of the way. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday.